Alright, so we are here, little B, June 26, 2024, 4:16 in the afternoon in Bali, Indonesia. We're overlooking a rice field, and it's really, really beautiful. It's really nice, and however much I tried to explain to you guys like how magical this place is, it's the kind of thing that you have to see for yourself, because I feel like there's just so many parts of Bali. There's so many elements to it, and there's so many like influencers that come here and they get like little snippets of it, and people are like, I feel like before I came here I felt like how special can Bali be, you know what I mean? How special it can. I think there's like the pretty part of Bali, and then there's the vibe of Bali. There's the pretty part, like the things that you can see with your eyes. You can see the trees, you can hear the sounds. I don't know if you can hear, there's like a waterfall sound. There's a waterfall sound there. There. And then there's a water sound down there. There's a waterfall, running water. There's just like cock-a-doodle-doo, roosters. There's chickens. There's just all the different sounds. There's the view, everything like that. There's all the things that your senses can smells, you know. But then there's the vibe, the energy, the feeling, and overall feeling and idea and energy that you get when you are in a certain place. And in Bali, that's a big thing, because so it's the kind of thing that you'd have to sense if you're here in person. And this is a new place that we moved to. So last time I made a video, we were living in my old place, and we were like about to move, and it was actually yesterday. We were moving from our old place, we were moving out, and it makes a huge difference. We're only paying, we're paying $250 more in this new place, but the difference is tremendous. Like, we have windows that close. Last night was our first night sleeping in this new place. Air conditioning, windows that close. We're so much more relaxed. It's just much easier to focus. I had a really good sleep last night, and I think it's just gonna get easier and better. When we were in the old place, there's also just so many smells, poop everywhere. There's like just mold. Everything was covered in mold. In fact, when we got here, we sent all of our clothes and our bags to laundry, to everything that we have. We sent to laundry. We've been wiping everything down with like antiseptic wipes, just because the mold, I think, was affecting us as well in a way that we were still just like very sensitive and very sick. I think the mold was really affecting our bodies. I'm still very sensitive, like every little thing. Like, there's little kids here, and here, we got little kids right here, and they're just trespassing, and it's so funny. And their little dog. What are they up to? Hello. What are they doing? And their friends are in there also. So, yeah. So yeah, it might take a while. We're still very sensitive. Still, healing. It's, what is healing even? It's changing your biology. Your body is working in a certain rhythm, and you want to change your body so that it's working in like totally different way. and takes a lot. It takes a lot of time to change your body in such a significant way. It takes a lot of change, a lot of energy change. Like, you have to put yourself in a different environment, different lifestyle, and a lot of people think that they're gonna heal with just like pill medicine, and like if it's a very local problem, maybe, but oftentimes I think being sick or being ill or mentally ill or whatever it is really just a gift to let you know that you need to change things. So anyway, I just finished reading a book called You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, and it was really interesting. The reason why I read the book, I listened to the audiobook actually. The reason why I listened to it was because Ella Ringrose, who's this like YouTuber, she's a psychic YouTuber, and she talks a lot about like manifesting and all these things. And recently, I don't know how I even got to this, but I saw like haters talking about her, how she's kind of full of BS, and how she copied all of her stuff that she talks about manifesting money, manifesting like blessings and stuff in your life, and they said that she stole all the information that she's talking about from this woman, Jen Sincero, who wrote a book called You Are a Badass at Making Money. And it's all about manifestation. And so, I don't know, I got curious and I listened to the audiobook, and it was interesting. First of all, I don't think that it's true that Ella Ringrose, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of any of these people, but money manifesting YouTuber Ella Ringrose, I don't think she actually stole her stuff from Jen Sincero, because it felt very different. But also, I didn't like the book so much. Like, there's certain things that I really, really liked about it, and I know that it's probably very, very helpful for a lot of people, manifesting money, and it is actually helpful for me. This is like what I've used for myself quite a bit to manifest abundance in my life. Tell myself, I am powerful, I am powerful, I am powerful, or tell myself, like, I'm going to be very wealthy, I'm going to be very wealthy, I am very wealthy, I'm awesome, I'm a good person. You say these things and sort of manifest them into existence. I really believe in it, and I think it's true, and I think that psychics and healers and Kabbalists and all these things, priests, whatever your religion or your faith is, they're really important because they kind of help you manifest things. Like, they'll say something that you will, like, they'll say something positive, like, you're a good person, or you're going to have many blessings in your life, or whatever. And then if you really believe in it and you have faith in it, you're gonna, like, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're gonna put energy toward it in a positive way, even in ways that you don't realize consciously. You're gonna make it happen. You're going to will it into existence without even realizing how you're doing it. Because we're very powerful people. Humans are very powerful. We can will things into existence in a way that animals can't. Other animals. We are able to dissociate our minds from our bodies, and when we can dissociate our minds from our bodies, we can visualize things that haven't happened yet in reality, and then we can bring those things into reality in a way that other animals can't. Other animals are not able to visualize things that can't or haven't, or conceptualize things and then will them into reality. We can, and we do it every day. Every time you want something and you say, I want, like this kid is flying a kite. Every time he says, I want to fly a kite, and then he, next thing you know, 2 days later is flying a kite. I'll show you. It's very cute. Actually, kids here love kites. There he is. So he is a manifester, because he said he wants to fly a kite, and he flew a kite. And the lizards and the geckos here are not doing that. They're not manifesting a kite into existence. Maybe the kite already existed, and then they just like gravitated toward the kite, but they're not like saying and visualizing that they want a kite and then making it happen, or creating or building a future in which they have a kite. They're not doing that. So that's really something really beautiful and amazing that humans can do, and I really believe in it. And this book, You Are a Badass at Making Money, talked about that a lot. Just drinking my delicious coffee at 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. almost. I shouldn't be having coffee, but it's instant, so I don't think it's going to be so impactful. So I really believe in it. I think it's a legit thing. But also, since we're all different people and different things work for different people, and while I can say that it's probably extremely helpful for like a lot of people, for me, I felt like I didn't like it so much because I think I'm not as dissociated as a lot of people. I'm a little more victim or tied, or I don't want to say victim, but I want to say like I'm a little more tied to my body, and I feel like for me, I'm just, I don't know. I feel, or at least at this point in my life, I feel very much tied to my body. Maybe I haven't always been like this, but I haven't. But I just feel like I just need things to be more real. And also because I've been in so many religious groups and I don't want to say cults, but like I've been in so many religious communities where people are believing anything and everything. People are really using the power of faith, and it's really beautiful that they are, but I just feel like in my personal life, I've overused faith. I have believed everything that you could believe, because I've been just so intentional about my faith, to the point where I feel like I've overused faith in my personal life, and I really just need things to be real in order for it to work. In order for me to have the things that I want, there is, yes, a level of manifestation happening where I say I want the kite, but I can't really rely on that to be the driving force. I need to be in a place where the environment, the tangible environment around me, is giving me that first boost of energy. I need a massage. I need to be in a place like this where the nature is there, that is giving me that first boost, that first like energy burst, like I need to first eat a meal. Yesterday we were moving, and I got hungry because we hadn't eaten the whole time, because it was like taking hours, because we had to because there was the mold, there was the poop, there was just like a lot of, all our clothes were very moldy, and it was actually dangerous. Like we didn't feel safe to bring the mold, to breathe the mold. There's so much of it, and it's like I'm trying to get pregnant here, and like I'm breathing so much mold and lizard poop. It's just not safe for humans to breathe so much lizard poop and mold. So anyways, we're just putting all these things in bags, holding our noses, giving it to these people to come and take it away and take it to their laundry place or whatever. And it was just took a while for us to eat, and I was hungry, and I started to think bad thoughts. I started to just feel like, oh, what's the point of anything? Started to remember all the people that bothered me in the past, or that reminded me of my past life. Like there's so many people in my life that didn't actually do anything to me, but they just literally just thinking about them reminds me of a time in my life when I felt in pain. So I started to think about all those people, and it's like, it's unfortunate to be one of those people, to be someone that reminds another person of their pain. It's unfortunate, and it's good too, because they it's a way for other people to process their pain when they think of you, but it's like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that like other people, when they think of me, they think of their pain. But anyways, I started to think about all the people, places, situations that I had been in pain. And I just started going down a downward spiral. And I was listening to this manifestation thing. I was listening to and this is probably part why I didn't enjoy this audiobook so much, is because I'm like listening to this manifestation, and she's saying all these manifestations, and I'm like saying them and repeating them, and I just felt angry every time I listened to anything that she was saying. And like she was just telling you, like, just believe, just have faith, just, get up by your bootstraps, like suck it up, buttercup kind of mentality, dive in head first, just believe it. And I was just getting so angry when she was saying that, because I was thinking to myself, I'm hungry, screw you, and like no amount of mental dissociation for myself is going to take me out of that. Like, and you know what, that's a good thing for me, because when you're able to mentally dissociate so much from your body that your body is literally hungry, but you're able to just feel like everything is fine and okay, that means you're dead. If you're not connected to your nerves anymore, if you're not connected to your body anymore, and you're able to perpetually live in a state where you're disconnected, that's just the way I see it. That means that you're dead. And there are a lot of people that live like that. There are a lot of people that I know that live their whole life perpetually dissociated from the needs of their bodies. They're either dead, they're delusional, they go crazy over time, or they become drug addicts, okay? When you're a drug addict, you're perpetually living in a state of dissociation from your body, because your body is sending you these signals, and every time your body sends you these signals, you drink alcohol or you pop a pill to not hear the signals, to basically stop the communication that's happening between your mind and your body. So personally, because I really value the connection that I have with my body, when my body is complaining to me, I would much rather listen to it and cherish it and deal with it than like try to stay in my brain and create like a fake reality in my brain that I'm gonna then just live in. Because I personally believe that, unlike the belief of a lot of people that live in the West, I actually believe that you don't need to live in a fake reality in your mind in order to have everything you want, because the world is big, and the world actually does have so much wealth, so much beauty and happiness and health, everything that you possibly could want, that you don't need to dissociate. Oh, but what if you have to live in the real world? Like she was talking about, she's like talking about, this is the only way that you can become successful, is that you just have to like essentially ignore the pains and cries of your body and the fear and whatever. You had like kick through it. And I'm sorry to anybody that read the book that didn't hear it that way. That's just the way that I heard it. It's just essentially you just have to like kick through it, get to the other side, ignore your fears and ignore these screaming shrieks from your body, and just go for it. Just like swallow your fear and just go for it. And like to an extent, yes, it helps. The more you conquer your fears, the more you just jump in the pool, the warmer the pool feels, right? Like when you're jumping in a cold pool. But also, and it's like practice too, practicing to conquer your fears. But also I feel like the world is not as brutal as a lot of people think it is. I really think that the world does not require you to do that. Maybe certain countries that speak English require you to do that, but the world doesn't. The universe doesn't. The universe actually requires you to be whatever your body wants to be. And there's so many realities that you can live in the world that can support and sustain like what you can handle. I might not know about it to tell you where it is, but it's there. And I know about quite a few realities in which people do not have to put themselves in a constant state of fight or flight, fear, hustling that hard or dissociating from their body in order to achieve a basic level of happiness. And all of it, like, the other thing about this book is that for it to work on you, for this manifestation to work on you, you have to want it, which a lot of people are just so beat down from their constant fight or flight, fears, like traumas, that they don't even want it. So it might not even work for them. It won't work for them. They're just beat down. They're just like, I would much rather end my life than do all the things that she tells you that you need to do in this book. Because it just seems so much more pleasant, and like, literally, what's the point? Just to survive, I have to hustle and jump through a bunch of hoops, you know? So that's just the way I saw it, the book that I read, and I loved it too. And I actually love, like, I love this author. It almost feels like she is me in another timeline, because she was a broke writer, she wrote this book. I was a broke writer, I wrote a book, and it's different, very different, and we wrote about very, like, different sides of survival and becoming wealthy. Her version of wealth is very different than mine, because it was based on her needs, and mine was based on my needs. But yeah, it's also just realizing that people's needs are so different. For me, it was like, so yesterday we were just driving around everywhere and getting things done, running errands, doing this, taking care of the mold stuff. And I was just in such a bad mood, and I was just trying not to talk too much, because I know that when I'm feeling like this, if I'm around other people, I'm eventually gonna say things that I will regret saying later. Not things that I don't mean, but like, I'll just be really opinionated, and I'll say things that my opinions are for myself. I cherish them. I love them. I love the shit out of my opinions, but I would never want to give them away for free to anybody that doesn't want them and won't cherish it as well. I'm very protective about my opinions, more than I used to be, for sure. Like, you guys might probably tell that I'm much more pleasant and less opinionated. Doesn't mean that I have less opinions, fewer opinions. It just means that I'm not sharing them with you guys as much. And maybe I want to share them with a lot of you guys, but I want to be more selective about it, because this is public, you know? So anyways, yesterday I was just starting to feel really opinionated, and they were just wanting to come out, and I don't want them, because my opinions are my babies, my thoughts, my feelings. So I was just like bursting. I started saying some stuff, and then we sat down at our favorite cafe, one of our favorite cafes, and we started eating lunch, and immediately, like within like 30 minutes, I was fine. And I was suddenly in a good mood, and I was suddenly having really great opinions about things. And like just the really positive ones, I was suddenly having nice thoughts. I was suddenly thinking not about the people that reminded me of pain, but about people that reminded me of happiness and happy things and great things. And I realized for myself, like, there is no amount of cognitive dissociation. What do you call it? Cognitive dissonance? Cognitive dissociation? There is no amount of cognitive dissociation that is going to take the place of food for me. If I want to manifest good things in my life, for me, not for everybody else, but for me, and I know for a lot of people, it's so simple, actually. It's like, I just need to be fed. I just need like a basic structure, routine. I need to work out every day in some form. Maybe it's stretching, going for a walk, going to the gym, yoga, whatever. Like, I need some kind of like physical activity. I need a good night of sleep. I need not a lot of stimulation, but just enough, you know, like I just need like these physical needs. I need some freedom, pretty things. I mean, this place is, they call Bali the portal to heaven. That's what they call it. So I need love, physical connection. Like, there's just like physical things that I need that, like, when I have them, all of a sudden my brain has the greatest opinions and the nicest thoughts. And, you know, like, this isn't really a choice for a lot of us. A lot of us are a little bit more connected to our lizard brains. And actually, I really want to be this way. I used to be more dissociated, and you don't want to be dissociated. A lot of people in America are very dissociated, especially people that do a lot of drugs. They do that because they have to be, because their lives, just their needs are being so not met that if they were connected to their bodies, they wouldn't be able to function. If they were connected to like all their nerves and their feelings in their bodies, they would be in fight or flight 24/7. They wouldn't be able to build anything or do anything. They wouldn't be able to survive. So they actually need to be dissociated in order to get to the next stage in their life, in order to survive. But there are a lot of consequences to being dissociated from your body. There's a lot of problems that come from being dissociated from your body, and I would have to devote a totally different video to that. You do not want to be dissociated from your body. When you're dissociated from your body, you're not able to live your truth. You're not going to, first of all, you're going to have a lot of health problems because you have no idea what is happening in your body behind your back. Your body is going to revolt against you in chronic ways. You are going to have chronic health problems that are like autoimmune health problems. Your body is going to attack itself. And I'll explain it more. It's not heebie-jeebie or woo-woo. This isn't like it's not a spiritual only, like I can explain it to you in the way that I know more in length. But long story short, if you can completely dissociate from your body and essentially ignore when your body is crying for you, crying for fixes, crying, or just wanting to release negative energy, wanting to complain, cry, whatever. When you ignore these parts of your body and you even train your body to ignore itself, you're training your body essentially to attack itself. And you're going to develop an autoimmune disorder at some point in your life. Either cancer, there's just so many kinds. There's cancer, arthritis, like there's cognitive ways that your mind will attack itself. There's allergies. There's just like so many like digestive problems. That's like the health side of it, of your body attacking itself. But then also energetically, like in your life, you don't want to live in a state of being disconnected from your body, because your body is you're just not going to be taking your body in the way that it's meant to go. You're not going to be living your truth. You're going to be living a fake truth that you decided was the truth that you have to follow because you were brainwashed in your mind, which is not the leader. Sometimes it is, but for most people it's not. You're like brainwashed by society to follow like in a certain path that really isn't for you, isn't for your body. And so you're going to be living a life, a truth, in a relationship, a job, whatever situation that was not meant for you. You only have one life. Why would you want to live like that? Around people that you don't really respect, doing things that you don't really feel passionate about. Why? In a place that isn't sustaining you. And the thing is that a lot of people, they do that because they don't know any better, because their mind has not been exposed to a better possibility, a better reality. But the thing is that if your body is wanting it, then your body knows of a better reality, like a better possibility. There's a cute little court here. Let me show you. They're playing. How cute is that? I want to play. That's so funny. So yeah, I actually really enjoy these manifestor YouTubers. Like, I love Ella Ringrose. She's a psychic, and I know people are like, oh, like psychics are delusional. But I don't believe that. I think that the whole idea of manifestation, whatever, is that who's delusional either? You know, who's delusional? You believe what you want to believe, and then you make your reality based on what you believe. Oof, there's a fly. It's a bee. So, like, people just create their own realities based on what they want to believe. If you want to believe your priest at your church, your rabbi, whatever it is, you're gonna believe them. And if you believe things, it's gonna happen. That's just the law of attraction. That's nature. When you believe something, it's going to happen. And even if it doesn't look like it's happening to everybody else, in your world and your reality, which is the only world that you are existing in, you're not existing in anybody else's reality. You're only existing in your reality, okay? So in your own personal reality, which you exist in your reality, you can't possibly begin to understand or even visualize the reality of another person or another being, because you are physically limited to your own reality, okay? So in your reality, if you believe that something is true, it is true. If you really believe it with your whole heart, it is true. And, you know, people will say, oh, but like the reality outside of you, it won't be true, so you're going to be the only one believing it. And like, you know, the sky is blue and you're saying that it's not blue. And this is actually what I would argue myself, but the thing is that, like, your body is not going to believe. If your body is healthy and whole, and this goes back to what I said about taking care of your body. If your body is healthy and being fed and taken care of, like the animal that it is, your body is an animal, it's your baby, then it's going to act in line with what you believe. If not, then you might actually be dissociated from your body, and then there might be a problem there. So in the case of people that are believing things that are not in line with their body, because they're just so dissociated from their body, then we might have a problem. Then you might actually be delusional, because your body is believing in one thing. I mean, your body is reacting to the environment around it, or trying to react and interact with the environment around it, and trying to sense and smell things or whatever, but then you are existing in another realm separate from your body. Then there might be a problem. You might go crazy. And you might actually, to me, that's delusional. But anyways. But I don't think Ella Ringrose is doing that. So I think she's actually very much tries to be attuned with her body. At least that's the impression I get from her videos. So, yeah, if you're like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a psychic or following a psychic in that regard. I just feel so distrustful for myself, like believing in anybody else's reality, because also I don't think that I've met anyone who has a better reality than me. Like, I don't think I've met anyone who's like has a higher idea of wealth than I do. In my mind, everybody else is like also like just, but that's just my limited belief. Anyways, hope you enjoy my little ramble here. I'm going to drink some more coffee, and then afterwards I'm gonna go do some stretches. Andrew's working on his laptop. Maybe I'll play some piano. This place is so cute. I love it. It's really chill. If I do some stretches, I'll probably listen to some music or like an audiobook. And then later we're gonna go and get a massage, go to the gym, which you're not really supposed to do after a massage, but whatever. And then we have our little sauna pool routine, which we've started doing lately, which every night we do like a hot cold therapy, which we go in a sauna, hot sauna, and then we go into the swimming pool, which is cold, or an ice bath, which is cold, and switch over to a steam room or a sauna, and then back into the ice bath or swimming pool, which is cold. So hot, cold, hot, cold. And I think that's really been helping. That's really been helping me fall asleep really well. Andrew takes longer to fall asleep anyways, but I've really been enjoying that. Like, I've really been enjoying that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so that's what I'm up to. And then so today is Wednesday, June 26th. Tomorrow we have a language class. The next day I have a meeting with a friend, and we want to talk about a business idea. And it's so hard for me to not pile things on top of each other. It's like there's so much I want to do all the time. And the thing is, the more I heal, for me that means like learning to downsize and becoming less anxious and feeling clearer and less in fight or flight mode. So the more I heal, the less things there are for me to worry about, like the less, but I feel like I'm still in a place in my life where I'm biting off more than I can chew in terms of like, I just always want to do something, always build something. Like, I just have like this huge appetite for all the things I want to accomplish, but not enough time to do it and not enough energy to do it. So one thing that I would personally really like to manifest in my life is I want to flip it so that the things that I want to do are less than the time, like I have enough time and energy to do all the things that I care about and I'm passionate about, basically. So basically I want to become like more spiritually satisfied. I feel like I've been doing everything that I want to do, and I want to feel also just more focused on everything that I'm doing, more aligned. Like, I really know exactly what the extent of everything that I'm working on, and I don't need to do anything else afterwards. I meet up with this person, I spend, and I actually today was like, I told her like the exact amount of time that I want to spend in the meeting, 1.5 hours. I want to spend 90 minutes in the meeting, and I told her how much time I want to spend in the meeting, what I want to do in the meeting, what I want to talk about, and I want to learn how to do this more, to be a lot more structured with my time, and to have like a beginning and end to everything I do. So instead of like meeting up like in the past, it would be, I would like meet up with somebody and I would just like, hey, let's meet up, oh, let's start a business. And I've had so many relationships like this where it's like, oh, let's start a business, let's talk about whatever, and then you meet up with a person, you end up like spending the whole day with them, and it just becomes like a hangout day, and nobody gets anywhere, nobody does anything. The business idea is just in the trash, because there was no structure and focus around whatever you're trying to do. So I want to be way more structured. I've like literally never had a partner that was in this regard, that's like something that's so involved. I've had partners in like real estate or whatever, people that like we split commission, or we share certain things, responsibilities, stuff like that. But this is so involved, and I feel like if you're partnering with anybody in a business idea or anything that you want to do, and anything that's so involved, you really want to have a lot of structure and a lot of lines and a lot of numbers. Numbers meaning like, we will meet at this time for this amount of hours, and we will talk about whatever, and this is going to be what we're going to try to accomplish in that meeting. And even if you want to be friends with that person, having like a separate time to do the friend stuff with them than you do for the business meeting. Because what drives me crazy, and it feels very much like you could do this in Bali, but you could do this anywhere, is that when you want to do something with someone or partner up with someone about something, and then every time you meet with them to talk about the thing, you never end up talking about the thing. It always just ends up being about some other random thing. And this is like me. I do this, or I've done this a lot, where you meet up with someone to talk about the business, but you don't actually end up talking about the business. You end up talking about everything but the business idea, and just wasting time and feeling tired at the end of the day, flustered because you didn't get the thing done that you wanted to get done. So you didn't manifest the passion, the vision that you wanted to manifest. You didn't achieve the dream or whatever, and you just are killed the time, and you're just tired at the end of the day. And so that's something that I really want to change, that I really want to manifest in my life, is that I want to say things that are going to happen, and for them to happen. Let's do this. This thing happens. Let's do that. That thing happens. And I think that's manifestation too, actually. You manifest things into existence. And I think I can now, because I'm in a physically more stable place in my life. I feel like I'm not worried about my survival cutting short anytime soon. And if you're wondering how are you sustaining yourself? How are you financially surviving? I wrote about it in my book, House Hackers Anonymous. That's what I'm selling, is my book. But it's basically my survival plan, how I did, and I'm still currently surviving in a way that allows me to live on passive income, savings, investments, long-term, in a way that I feel comfortable in, that I don't have to live on borrowed time, and I can actually focus on the things I want to focus on and be relaxed while doing it, and be focused without being in constant fight or flight mode. And I don't think that I'm exactly there yet. You know, I think that physically, like my situation is successfully tailored exactly how I want it. Like, it's okay. I've gotten rid of everything in my life that could be a threat. I've gotten rid of all my debt. I've gotten rid of all of my liabilities, in every way possible. All the people that could slow me down, that could drag me down, all the situations, all the places. You know, I'm literally here. This is this. I mean, it's a very chill existence, and this is exactly where I wanted to be building from. Whatever I build, whatever stuff I work on, I want to be building from here. Even if it's something like just a faceless drop shipping store, I want to do it from here. I want to do it from a position of where I'm comfortable, that I'm putting positive energy in it, that I'm thinking good thoughts while I'm doing it, that I'm having good opinions, that I'm coming up with good ideas, and I'm relaxed, that I'm not going to cut it short because of being in survival mode. That's what I wanted, but I feel like, so we've achieved this, and then also like my body is basically healed from Mexico, which was only like less than 4 months ago. We were in Mexico, we were having diarrhea every day. My body is healed basically. I don't have diarrhea every day, maybe once in a while. I have not had a freak out since last year, which is huge for me. I was having crazy fight or flight freakouts. And so really the only thing that's left is that I just have to really, in my body, believe that this is my reality now and just really feel safe in it. I really am not one of these people that, I'm not a huge proponent, and I know a lot of people, because they have to be, like because they live in the States, or they live in like, I don't know what other really fast-paced economies, they really believe that like, oh, like, you could be, you know, you could be like the most successful, healthy, wealthy person in the world if you are just like starting, if your life is shit and all your finances are shit and like you're just in the worst place possible. I'm sure it's a reality for them, but in my world, like in Pardes' world, you might achieve great wealth from a really bad position in life. You might create like a really awesome business, and I really believe it. Actually, I believe that it's a no-brainer. You totally can. You can achieve anything you want from the worst place possible. But usually in my world, the things that I personally built or started from a really bad position ended up creating more problems in my life. The better I succeeded, the worse problems they created, because everything, all these the businesses that you create, any business that you create, any relationships that you form, assets, whatever, if they grow with you into your healthy, positive energy place in your life, that's amazing. But in a lot of situations, you will create a lot of energy in a situation that then becomes like your anchor. It becomes a chain for you. You created it in a time when you were really struggling, and it was a really bad time for you, and you were just vibrating at a very low frequency, or whatever you want to call it, very low energy, and then you tried to take it with you into your era of being okay, and it just ended up creating more problems for you. I really think that the reason why people are poor when they're in a really shitty mindset or in a shitty energy, frequency, whatever, the reason why people are poor when the energy around them is so negative is because they have to be. Because if you become really, really wealthy, and it's actually a blessing to be poor in a place with such a bad energy, because if you become really wealthy, this bad energy could be really big bad energy that creates problems for you. And the way I see it, it's my world better to, instead of trying to manifest big huge things in a place, in a position with energy that is not good for you, it might be better to first try to get out of that bad place first. Don't build your multi-billion-dollar business and lock it up in, I don't know, Colombia. I just say Colombia because we tried to do like a business in Colombia, and all the wealthy people in Colombia that are not like Americans. Americans will do their businesses in Colombia because usually they have another corporate structure in another country, like in the US or in the Cayman Islands or in Panama or whatever, but like the Colombians, no wealthy Colombian is incorporating their business in Colombia. They're not putting all their eggs in that basket. They're taking it out to Panama or somewhere else. So that's just the way I see it. Like, why become jaded and try to kick and build and put your blood, sweat, and tears in a place where if you are successful in that place, it's going to create so much more problems for you that it might not even be worth it. Like, I was talking to my friend recently, and it was a really interesting conversation, and I actually tweeted about it as well, very briefly. She was telling me that we were talking about her expectations around wealth. She really wanted to be wealthy, but she wasn't willing to do the things that would make her wealthy. So we're talking about it, and she did a lot of introspection on her own with her, she was talking to people, and she discovered that the reason why she's not doing the things that are required for her to become wealthy and attract what she wants in life, or what she thinks she wants, is that she actually secretly does not want to become wealthy. And the reason why she secretly does not want to become wealthy is because she is in a place, in an environment, where becoming wealthy would mean that now there's a lot of people around her with expectations, that she's afraid that becoming wealthy and now garnering all the expectations of all these low vibrating people around her, all these very greedy, full of expectations, or struggling, not even greedy, struggling people around her, is not worth it. It's just not worth becoming wealthy. It's probably just worth just staying poor. And to me, that tells me that she's just in a place that she's not supposed to be in. She's in a place surrounded by a bunch of poor people that are struggling and are like, gimme, 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 gimme. Like, that's where she is. And so she's in a place with bad energy where people are struggling. So even if she does shoot for the stars and get what she wants, it comes with all these anchors and liabilities. She might end up going to jail for tax fraud or something. Like, it might not even be worth it. And I think in the case of a lot of people, maybe your body just doesn't want to be there. In that place, or around those people, or around that environment, and the people that you're talking to, like literally, oh, but like, they're family, they're my friends, they're this. What is more important than family, than friends? Da, 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 da. Screw that. I don't care. I will literally, if any of your family or friends expects you to be a tiny bit smaller for their momentary satisfaction, they are not worth being in your life. And you know what? You're not helping them by keeping them in your life. They won't like you. They won't appreciate you. You won't be helping them. And if you think you're helping them, then what? Do you think they need you? Really? Like, do you think you're so amazing that they need you? They don't think that. So, like, all this, like, guilt tripping that people have about their families and all that needs to go away. About their boss, their jobs, their friends, whatever. Like, all that needs to go away. And you need to, like, before you even try to do all that manifesting and building, first ask yourself, do I even need to manifest all these things? Like, what if first things first, what if I'm just not getting my basic needs met, and I'm in a terrible environment for my body, and I don't even know this because I grew up in a country where I'm only speaking one language my whole life, so I'm only exposed to one paradigm, one reality, one way of being, and I'm around a bunch of fucking poor people my whole life. And so of course I think that this is everything. This is what reality has to be. And so my body isn't able to be happy, and I'm gaslighting my body into telling it that it's a problem for being unhappy, and it's screaming that it's unhappy the whole time. But because
I'm so limited. I'm not even able to know that my body is telling me the truth. What if you were to just first get yourself out of that place, change your environment, maybe start traveling the world? And I think it really works for a lot of people. Like, we meet so many people that their life was changed just from traveling a lot. They're traveling. The person who did my human design, Francis, was traveling for 16 years before he went back to Ireland. 16 years. That's how long he was traveling before he went to Ireland. And you know what? When he went back to Ireland, he loved it. So he had a corporate job as an engineer in Ireland. He left it, traveled for 16 years, went back to Ireland, and really loved it. He loved being back home, and he felt connected to the place, and he was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm supposed to be in Ireland. I love this place. And he was like, even though when he first left, he hated it, and he was just like really in a bad place, but he was able to find his happiness and himself and how his body can be happy and his positive energy just by traveling around the world and getting to know himself that way, you know? So yeah, I don't even remember anything I just said, but cool. See you guys. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.